In the aftermath of a devastating night, a chilling silence falls over the city before the echoes of destruction set in. Imagine the terror of being woken up by deafening explosions, windows shattering, and the ground trembling beneath your feet. Imagine knowing that in a single moment, the calm of night can turn into chaos, where lives are lost, families torn apart, and a city once filled with light suddenly scarred by smoke and flames. This is not just an ordinary attack. This is the kind of event that reshapes the way people think about safety, resilience, and survival. Stay with me for the next few moments, because what you're about to hear will reveal the chilling details of how this assault unfolded and why it matters to everyone watching right now. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the horrifying Russian drone and missile attack that has left at least 4 people dead and more than 70 wounded in Ukraine. This isn't just another headline flashing across your screen. It is a story of destruction, resilience, and the ongoing struggle of ordinary citizens caught in extraordinary times. We're going to break this down like we would a full review, taking you through the exterior of the event, the inside experiences, the performance of the attack, the safety features that came into play, what stood out uniquely in this incident, the cost both financially and emotionally, and finally, the bigger conclusion of what all of this really means. When we talk about the exterior of this attack, the first thing that comes to mind is the visual devastation. Buildings were left with shattered facades, glass windows ripped apart by the shockwaves, and streets littered with debris. The skyline of Ukrainian cities, once defined by calm nightlights, quickly transformed into a blaze of smoke columns and fiery bursts from impact zones. Exteriors of residential complexes were ripped open, leaving living rooms and bedrooms exposed like open wounds. Cars parked peacefully along the curbs turned into twisted metal, scorched and broken. In terms of how the assault looked from the outside, it resembled a full-scale bombardment scene you'd only expect in the harshest war films. Civilians stepping out at dawn saw entire blocks reduced to a nightmare vision, a reminder that this was not just a tactical strike, but a deliberate show of force meant to instill fear. Inside, however, the story becomes even more haunting. Families describe being jolted awake as ceilings crumbled, plaster rained down, and air filled with dust that made breathing nearly impossible. Hallways became escape routes where people, barefoot and panicked, rushed to basements or shelters. Mothers held children tightly, trying to block out the sound of explosions with nothing but the strength of their embrace. Hospitals, already stretched thin, suddenly turned into chaotic centers where wounded victims poured in, their injuries ranging from cuts and burns to life-threatening shrapnel wounds. The interiors of emergency rooms overflowed with cries, the metallic scent of blood, and medics working beyond exhaustion. Inside the minds of survivors, the fear is something that lingers far beyond the smoke clearing outside. It is the kind of fear that rewrites memories and reshapes daily life. Performance in this case is chilling to evaluate, but it is crucial to understand. Russia deployed a combination of drones and missiles, using both precision and sheer volume to overwhelm Ukraine's defenses. The drones, often cheap but effective, buzzed across the sky like mechanical locusts, designed to distract air defenses while larger missiles followed their destructive path. The coordination of the assault was calculated to maximize damage in densely populated areas, ensuring both physical and psychological impact. From a performance perspective, the attack achieved what it set out to do: damage infrastructure, create casualties, and remind civilians that no city is truly safe. Yet performance also reveals the endurance of Ukraine's air defense systems, which reportedly intercepted a number of incoming threats, preventing even greater catastrophe. The very fact that not every drone or missile found its mark speaks volumes about the constant effort and vigilance of those protecting the skies, even as the assault left its tragic toll. Safety features, in this context, become a story of resilience. Ukraine's air defense system acted as the first and most crucial safety net, shooting down a significant portion of incoming projectiles. Sirens blared across cities, giving civilians crucial minutes to reach shelters. Underground bunkers, though overcrowded, became lifelines for families who had nowhere else to go. Buildings constructed with reinforced basements suddenly turned into sanctuaries, proof that small details in urban design can mean the difference between life and death. Emergency services, despite being stretched thin, mobilized quickly. Firefighters rushed to douse flames in residential complexes, risking their own lives under the threat of secondary strikes. Medical teams, often operating with limited supplies, improvised solutions to treat the flood of wounded. Safety wasn't perfect. 4 lives were still lost, 70 more scarred by wounds. But without these systems, the numbers could have been exponentially higher. The very existence of layered defense, alert systems, and emergency response became a testament to how nations under siege still fight every second to save their people. What makes this attack stand out, its unique selling point, so to speak, is the combination of tactics and timing. Unlike previous assaults that targeted mainly energy infrastructure or military supply lines, this one struck heavily at civilian zones. The uniqueness lies in the psychological warfare, the message that no place is beyond reach, not even homes and hospitals. The coordinated use of drones to confuse defenses and missiles to deliver the knockout blow shows a chilling evolution in strategy. Another unique factor is the scale of civilian injuries. Over 70 wounded in one night, creating not just immediate casualties, but long-term challenges for a healthcare system already overwhelmed. Beyond the battlefield, this attack uniquely highlights the resilience of the Ukrainian people, who, despite exhaustion, come together in solidarity. Neighbors helping to pull victims from rubble, communities donating blood at clinics, volunteers rushing to provide blankets and food. All of these are unique human elements that reveal the other side of the story, resilience that cannot be measured in weaponry. If we were to talk about the price, it is staggering on multiple levels. Economically, every missile that slams into a residential block leaves behind millions of dollars in damage. Repairing shattered infrastructure, replacing destroyed vehicles, rebuilding homes. It adds up to a financial burden that Ukraine carries heavily, even with international support. But the true cost is measured in human terms. 4 lives lost means 4 families forever broken. 70 wounded means 70 stories of pain, recovery, or possibly lifelong disability. Children grow up with the trauma of nights spent in basements. Parents live with constant anxiety every time sirens go off, and communities bear the scars of empty seats at dinner tables. The price is also geopolitical, as every attack deepens the rift between nations, hardens resolve, and reshapes alliances. In a sense, the price tag of this attack is both visible in rubble and invisible in hearts, a cost that no amount of rebuilding can truly erase. In conclusion, this drone and missile assault isn't just about statistics, it's about the reality of war that continues to grip Ukraine. From the exterior devastation to the interior fear, from the performance of the weapons to the resilience of the defenses, from the unique tactics to the heavy price. This attack reminds the world that the conflict is far from over. Yet within the smoke and destruction lies a story of resistance. Ukraine continues to stand, continues to fight, and continues to find ways to protect its people despite overwhelming odds. For those watching from afar, the lesson is clear. War is not just numbers on a news ticker. It is human lives, homes, and dreams interrupted in the dead of night. And every time the world hears about another attack like this, it is a reminder of the urgency to find resolution, to stand against aggression, and to never forget the real cost of conflict. That wraps up today's deep review of the tragic assault. If you found this breakdown informative and believe more people should understand the real depth of these events, make sure you stay tuned, because every detail matters in times like these.